All right, what is up? Straight off the bat, apologies for the slightly clickbait thumbnail, but it's actually not, and here's why. I checked my screen time on my phone the other day, and it was 3 hours 45 minutes, which is disappointing. So I did a little bit of research and some calculations. Did you know the average person spends 3 hours 15 minutes per day looking at a screen? Now that equates to a whopping 82,125 minutes per year, which over a year is over 1,368 hours. Which means that over the span of a year, that's 57 days spent staring at your phone. Okay, now to me, this is the scary part. So I got my first smartphone when I was 20 years old. I'm now 34. So I've been in this thing for about 14 years. And if I lived to the age of 80, which means I'd have had a 60-year time span of spending around 3 hours per day on a phone, that would equate to 3,420 days spent staring at a screen. Now, if you take that number and you transfer it into years, that means you would have spent 9.5 years just staring at a screen. Think about that for a second. It's a pretty hard one to grasp. And the only way I can really get my head around it is, imagine you're on your deathbed right now. You're around 80 years old. You're about to take your final breath, and the nurse comes over and says, "Excuse me, Mr. Davey, fancy another 9.5 years on this earth? You can hang out with your family, you can just look at nature, you can go walking, riding, be with friends." You're telling me you wouldn't take that deal? I know I would. That's for sure. I know I would. One thing that filming this already has got me thinking is, I got the first, well, my first smartphone, I think, was the iPhone 3G, and this is the first photo I ever took on a smartphone. And I don't know why. You know, it's kind of crazy to think that I've had a smartphone then for 14 years, which means it's almost half my life. I've been exposed to notifications, instant communication. It's no surprise, it's pretty deep. It's almost in my DNA, I think. Hiya. Hi. One of the main things that I really love about this campaign is so many companies right now are fighting for your digital attention. They're fighting to get you on the website. They're trying to make sales. They're trying to get a follow out of you on social media. And you know, whether they know it or not, they probably do. Focus have gone, go ride your bike. And for not being on your screen and probably not engaging with some of their social media posts, you could win yourself a holiday, but also you're challenging yourself. You're really seeing if you can do this. And I think that's super cool. And that's one of the reasons that I'm gonna go pretty ham on this one. How deep have these habits and reliances and addictions to your screen, how deep have they actually got? Now, I'm not perfect. There's certain things I do to help. For example, this is something I've spoken about a little bit on the podcast before, but I have always got my phone in black and white. Probably can't see it. It's always in black and white. I've also recently turned off all notifications on my phone other than calls. So all the WhatsApp, text, all that sort of stuff's off, which I think means that I do check my phone less. I certainly seem to look at it less. But I'm not perfect. For example, these are just a few things that I do. Do you do the same? So here's what Focus are challenging you to do. They want you to try and ride 28 hours in 28 days. Obviously that's an hour a day. Now you could stack those up, not ride for a couple of days and then go out and do a couple of hour ride. Either way, 28 hours in 28 days is the minimum. Or you could go a little heavier. You could really try and beat your screen time by actually physically riding more every day than you spend on your phone. And I'm gonna give it a bit of a go. Now, I'm not setting myself up for failure here, but I think this is gonna be tough. And I'm gonna put a couple of measures in place to really try and get me to do this. And they look like this. Now, I've actually invented this. And don't be trying to copy it, because it's patented. Put a cable tie on the book I'm currently reading, and I'm going to try to keep my phone attached to this as much as possible for a whole month. So basically, every time you come to pick up your phone, you've got a choice. You can go on the phone, or you could just read a little bit of the book. I'm also going to, at 7 PM roughly every night, I'm going to see how many minutes I have spent on my phone, and that amount of minutes will equate to the amount of press-ups or some other workout you have to do. So spend 60 minutes on your phone, that's 60 press-ups, and so on and so forth. 10 press-ups. So hopefully that's going to really try and make me not use the phone as much. So yeah, these little things I think are going to really try and help this challenge, and hopefully it inspires you guys to do something similar. If you do want to buy this setup that I made, it's going to be $199.99. It's not really, it's literally just a cable tie and 2 holes, and I've just slid my phone through it. There you go, you can have that one for free. Now, I think it's going to be important to try and vary the style of riding that you're doing. Now, this doesn't mean that every day you have to go out and smash yourself into the ground. I think it's important to maybe do various different styles of riding. So maybe you want to go out and just do hill sprints. Maybe you want to go out and just practice wheelies or corners, nose wheelies, manuals, whatever. Just try and spend an hour a day in total on your bike. Now, here's some of the things that I think I'm going to be trying to do. So if you're not already involved, then check out the Focus website, focus-bikes.com, for more information. There is an app you can download from the App Store on iOS and Android. It looks a little bit like this. There you go. Sorry about the sun, but basically this is going to track how much riding you do and how much screen time you spend, and then it's going to show you the difference right there too. So that is available. And get involved, folks. It starts on either the 4th or 5th of April. Can't quite remember which, I'll be honest with you. And share your journey. There's a hashtag, I think it's BYTS 2021 or 21, BYTS 21. And ride your bike more, be outdoors more, spend more time in nature, take a ride to see your family, get massive calves, massive, and have a great time. You.